The state level results are out for the 2020 census and show that North Carolina grew by 9.5% from 2010 to 2020. That's one of the slower growth rates the state has ever recorded. But that growth rate was still high enough to put North Carolina among the faster growing states. In fact, North Carolina is one of only 6 states that are slated to pick up additional representatives in the U.S. Congress. Texas is going to get 2 additional representatives, and the other states in green pick up 1 apiece. And there were losers too. California, once that golden promised land in the West, actually lost 1 representative for the first time in the state's recorded history. And 6 states in the northeastern part of the country are losing 1 representative apiece. In 1790, when the first census was taken, North Carolina earned 10 seats in Congress. By the 1810 census, North Carolina had grown enough to qualify for 13 congressional representatives. North Carolina entered a long period of stagnation and was even known as the Rip Van Winkle state for its sleepy lack of growth. The 1860 census, taken on the eve of the Civil War, qualified the state for only 7 members of Congress. Recovery was gradual. By 1930, the state had edged up to 11 congressional representatives. And that's pretty much where things stayed for most of the 20th century. There were a couple census returns that bumped North Carolina up to 12 congressional representatives, but North Carolina was stuck at 11 for the 30 years between the 1960 census and the one in 1990. Then the pace of growth began to quicken. North Carolina reached 12 representatives in 1990, and in 2000 reached 13 representatives for the first time since the 1830 census. With 14 representatives, you might say North Carolina is going where it's never been before. As the year goes on, we'll get a lot more numbers from the U.S. Census Bureau. We'll find out how many people live in Forsyth County, how many people live in Winston-Salem. We'll get race and ethnicity breakdowns. There's a lot of interesting data, and we'll bring it all to you at the Winston-Salem Journal. I'm Wes Young, who reports on the census for the Winston-Salem Journal.